Good morning, good afternoon.
No.
Welcome.
Try again.
That's it. It's like, hello, Team Endgame here with
Bringing you.
So let me just get. Am I still fired?
Your
Right,
probation.
My probation's extended. So yeah, so it is Team Endgame here, bringing you a tournament roundup of the autumn 2017 Vanguard section of the Bushy Road Festival. This time it was in Huddersfield, which is in sort of like Midlands / North UK, England.
So with a quick roundup of our day, we're going to go through it around as usual. Any kind of highlights we'll specify, and
Day or days? Spoilers.
I would like to say,
well,
giving it away now.
now you pointed it out.
As you can see, there's no mat, so no one.
So we didn't make top 8. We understand that much.
So of course they can't see a top 8 map because I've got a picture up on it.
No, but the point would be, there would be an image of a mat or something if we got top 8.
we would've
The
done
fact that we didn't means that we aren't showing our faces in disgrace.
We are showing a kettle with tea cozy on.
Hey, keeps it warm.
Right.
Alright. Anyway, go through the quick rounds and then we'll summarise how the venue was, the day, judges, things like that. So,
I can't insult the place.
I kind of want to do it.
I can't.
You can.
They're all my friends!
We had too much.
We know too much.
Anyway, so round 1 I was against Royals Brave. I was playing Grand Blue throughout the day, just to clarify. The Night Race build, I run 12 crit in there, I just got out the 4 stand, changed a few things in strides, pretty much the same as I did last time though. I rushed him down and I crit on my first stride to win, really.
What was different in your G zone from first time, Mike?
Alright, I had the fucking GB8 in there, Yuri, and I put in a second of the flip up to rest something equal to the amount of face up G units, I forget what it's exactly called, that thing, because it's really strong at fixing my field for cheaper health cost. And it's gone. For the extra attack, especially if it gets into that new armor and whatever, the G guard, and get rid of it, because then you can counter blast, flip up, although just bring it back and you can deal with this on the other side. So yeah, 2 G guards, good luck. So yeah, that was mine. I won that one. First.
So yeah, with me I'm playing the deck that's going up on the channel either shortly or is already there, which is Shosho or Shushu or Choo-Choo Riviere build, depending on how you want to pronounce CHOU. First game was against a player that has actually travelled all the way over from Norway. Had a nice conversation with him, was going through it, he was using Blade Wing, and short story long, he didn't have the worst of hands nor the best of hands. I didn't have the best hand. There is a bit of a reliance on this deck having a certain grade 2, which is really easy to find out, but my deck just decided not to let me see it. Managed to keep a bit of to and fro-ness, high on the draw rate, didn't see any triggers myself, but generally had an okay-ish game, just deck let me down, and took a loss, so yay! Yuri?
I went against French guy who beat me in, what's it, Sheffield? Nats, maybe come second. And
What was you using to face this person with?
I was about to say, it was a mirror match with Zodiac Time Beast versus Zodiac Time Beast Gear Chronicle.
Just give him time. Give him time.
Yeah. Don't leave ahead. Effectively,
I like it.
Effectively, he just had a better drop, and he just
the deck or the
he got his pluses before I did, so I was always behind on him, and he could just maintain his hand from that point onwards. But that's a mirror match. You can plus first, you win. I did.
I think I go into Aaron because he's got like
essays
on his thing.
Oh, I'm not even on there, hang on.
Oh god, he has to find the right page.
We woke early upon the Saturday. It was a joyous
I'm
day.
literally just browsing Twitter.
I stood up my Vanguard quite ferociously. He was quite surprised.
Do you want me to read my notes as they are, or...?
Oh,
Summarise.
brief summary, come on.
So, my first game was against...
It's already too long.
Rather lengthy game. Back and forth because we were critting, then we were healing, then we were critting, then we were healing. near enough every turn we were almost always on 3 damage, so any push was kind of pointless.
What are you playing, Aaron?
Yeah.
That would be helpful. I was playing glasses.
Boo.
That's going to be a theme of today. Blast.
So, because the game went on for so long, it came to my turn, I went into stride. I had 5 cards left in my deck.
Oh, this is also going to be a theme of the day.
Yeah.
I decided to stride into Alfred, which for those who don't know gives twin drive to my Rigard, so I'd effectively drive check 5 times, decking me out. Still went into Alfred, because I had a Flogel. So, what I ended up doing was attacking with the Blast Blade first, putting the Flogel back, so I twin drive, but then I put the Flogel back, so I have 4 cards in my deck, and I triple drive. So I have 1 card left and I don't deck out. Because I had no draws left because I made sure to count before I did this. And that was enough for him not to be able to guard, so I won with 1 card left in deck.
Okay, just remember that. Game 2 was against Nova Grappler. I limited his counterblast. I wasted my GBA even. I didn't even attack on my stupid powered rearguard to put him to 5 because there was literally no point. I think I wasn't going to get a crit. So I was like, I'll just take the rearguard, left it. He literally was like, just, well, like, there's nothing he could do. So it was like, I went for draw power over attacks. And give him all 4 until I got a crit and pushed him to win. But I literally went to the GBA and then my 5k for each face up to finish.
I went to GBA and it helped, you would have thought.
It didn't though, because it didn't get a crit, so it didn't matter. I needed the crit to threaten him. Or else I just always kept doing 1 counterblast or less, because it's always on call with Novas to counterblast or else to do an effect, or on boost and stride break counterblast. You need to do stuff. You need to tactic to. He didn't have the rush one, just specifying the other one out. No Vanguard, just counterblast on attacking stats like. So 1-1.
Game 2. So I was actually playing Chris from our locals. Haven't been actually down to a local, so I can't really call it the locals anymore. Months and months away, but was the Noob Tama Domination. I went 0.
What did you play first round?
Was Blade Master. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I think
So I did. Yeah, it was Blade Master. So I did Blade Master. Then next time was Noob Tama. So yeah, Dragon Empire thing. Basically, did not have grade 1 after Mulligan, did not get a grade 2 for like 5 turns, managed to get 5 out of the 7 grade 3s that I had in hand, even after G-assisting, so generally flumped like a pro, and that was it. So yeah, I think I managed to ride to grade 2, but not in anywhere near enough time. And yeah, it was just steady pressure, very, very bad game in regards, once again, the deck, not the person, no sackiness. Just generally my deck giving me a double finger of joy. And that was it. So yeah. Don't care anymore about this game.
That's all I knew now.
I know, I go for 2, so I'll see how it fits out.
I was against Harry.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. Which was a weird one to go against. Due to the fact that no idea what he was doing, he just kept getting like 8 attacks off. But I'm a Time Beast. I stalled out so I could stride first, got the combo so I could draw my cards, and he was behind from that point onwards. And I ended with 3 cards in my deck. Somehow.
Oh, so you also had a really...
I just burned through my deck.
Yeah, okay. So you had one of those games too.
But I want to point out that's the first time I've won with Gears at a national tournament. I was happy with myself.
Yeah.
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 Okay. My game 2 is Domination. Same as Faz.
Yay.
So... how did it go? Basically, he rushed me on grade 2, which was irritating, so he put me to high damage. Then from there he went on stride and did the usual thing, dominate, niggle, niggle, niggle. I got put to 5, which really hurt. Then from there I went into my Alfred stride, so I think I G-guarded? I didn't actually put if I G-guarded or not.
Well, my phones are like 3% now.
Unlock it!
No, I'll plug it in, don't worry. Yes, I was doing it.
Right, carrying on, I think I G-guarded, I didn't actually write it down if I did or didn't, but I went onto my Alfred stride, and then, me being me, oh look, heal!
Yeah.
I'm on 3 damage again!
Yeah.
So from there, it was pretty good for me, because he'd lost his tempo, and then it got to the point, where deck was running out, so on my final turn, on his final turn, I guarded like a 16 attack with 2 G-guards, so I could go to GB8. So, I then stride into my GB8, and he's on 4 damage. So, I attack, I look through my deck, I call out every single card, it's not a trigger, which leaves me with just triggers in my deck. They're all crits. My Vanguard gets a crit on attack. I get the +4s, which hit the barriers. So he's there, like, counting through all my cards on the drop zone and my damage zone. It's like, no triggers aren't there? I was like, yep. So I go crit on Rigger, splitting them. He's on 4, and he's like, yeah. I have to take your 26 because I can only guard 31. It's a perfect guard. Not the other way around or something, I can't remember. But yeah, his only option to win basically was to heal out on 6, which he didn't do.
Okay, round 3. It was against Shadows. He got a single crit on me in his early check on grade 1, I believe. Then it was, I couldn't find a grade 3. I waited a turn on grade 2 with a re-ride because I can always plus it back with Gauche, so I thought it'd be quite a good play there. He rides his grade 3 as normal. I don't know what the check was there, but that it wouldn't matter because you would expect it to one anyway. I G-assisted and didn't find a grade 3, so at this point I'm kind of stuffed because I'm on like 4 damage at this point, and you know, with no grade 3. He then sea breezes and double crits. I was like, oh, that's game. I can't win now. I could have guarded it with no cards left if I kept the stride fodder in my hand and just let the 6 damage go through. Because if I top deck the grade 3, I could ride the stride at least after healing. But you can't win if with 3 crits and a re-ride and a G-assist. So, as is Vanguard, that's a loss for me.
So round 3 for me was finally getting to see Blaster, but right down at the bottom end. So had a bit of a discussion with the opponent, just seeing how things were, and he was just like, he was having the same problem as me. So deck has worked absolutely fine in practice events and at home, and going through the drawing and everything. Get here and it's just like, no, done. So me and him were expecting a great game. Was that actually the 3rd game? Yes, that was.
It is now.
No, it was. I was just double checking. So. Did that, basically Blaster and all the BS. He started with the whole play Javelin. So Wingle with Javelin, Blaster Javelin in front, so it's basically Blaster unit. Yeah, Blaster Javelin. Not Blaster Javelin, the Lancer, sorry.
Rapier, Laura.
Yeah, whatever the fuck it is.
Okay. So Javelin is a grade 2 that discards 2 and calls it 2 high beasts, which I've seen some people use.
Yeah, whatever. But generally the word blasters are involved, and I can't be blasted with the blasters because it's bullshit. Even with this one, it's just basically Gauntlet. I kept my damage low because he didn't really rush me. No, it was a bit of a rush, but it was a case of Gauntlet first strike, and it's like, alright then, so what's this going to do? Call something, ... I haven't actually played the game in such a long time, and that's the point. But it's just like, okay then, so yeah, 4 drive checks, and I was like, okay then, yeah, but you counter blasted for... No, you didn't counter blast that. You had to have a specific... No, you didn't have a specific boundary. Did you soul block? No. You just strode for 4. Ace, cool. There must be some kind of neg to this at the end of doing this. So he does his drive check, 1, 2, 3, 4, doesn't actually get any major triggers with it, so I'm like, okay, a bit of comeuppance. Then he unflips the damage, and I'm like, well, that's the cost, he had to unflip, no, it's optional. So yeah, that was fun.
Doesn't happen on attack.
No, it's after.
What?
So I thought you attack.
Winning attack.
So, bosh. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit.
Well, if he doesn't get a trigger, it's literally just strike draw a card.
Doesn't matter!
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, it matters later on, so it's basically that's my first introduction of why I hate blasters.
Because that's not the bullshit bit, it's the second stride. And the fact you can't they've got resist at this point.
So it
that's
doesn't
the
matter,
issue.
because this was not the blaster game that pissed me off. This was the one where it was very backwards and forwards, got right down to the very end. I managed to hold it out a couple of times. Loving the fact that there was free stride, and I know it's one of those things of bitch and moan about it, but I still end up winning. Even started taking the piss out of that today. But yeah, managed to actually pull out a win because he had nothing left. Done.
What?
That's just bitch and moan about it, even though you won.
Yeah, I know. I was expecting.
It's the fact that later on that.
Yeah, I know. I went
fucking
against
crap matters.
my first blaster of the day. I purposely didn't ride to grade 2, or I 3-rode, one of the two, basically so I could stride first, and I could outplus him because I was at low enough damage because he didn't get rushed. I didn't see any lose or any wingles. So he could just go like 4 drive checks, 5 drive checks, and I was like, okay, I'll get like 6 attacks each turn, and a gravity check beat him down. But there was a hint of annoyance with his 4th check, first time around being a crit, which meant I had to do a weird play to come for the damage. But my first blaster, I beat him, and I was like, I felt quite happy with that.
My game 3 was against Kageru, the lead master Cohen. It was a really slow game, but throughout all of it, all I really remember is that he had a thin front row, since the grade 3 blaze thing and the grade 2 gets power based on interior guard circles, so we didn't need to drop boosters. He kept getting draw triggers, which allowed him to guard my attacks and kept him in the game.
How does a draw trigger help me out?
I don't know. That's all I remember. And there's me with my resist grade 1 being like, aha, you can't touch me and stuff, and resist blaster, you can't denial griffin me in the attack, ha ha ha. And then he just goes root flare, doesn't target. GD8 doesn't target. So I'm kind of like, it's kind of hard for me to get back now. And yeah, so he does his final push and I just didn't have enough to guard it because I wasn't pressuring him throughout the game to keep retiring my shit. So I lost that one.
Mike.
Oh! It's alright.
Supposed to pay attention.
I said I lost, that kind of means that I'm done.
No, you should open with that, according to Yuri, because he hates it when people do that.
No, I hate when you bitch and moan about a game and then be like, oh, by the way, but I won anyway. Like my opponent triple crit me, but I won anyway. No.
We even took the mick out of that, and I've even said that I felt.
Okay, I was against Nubatama this time, and it was the opposite luck where he was great stuck, and I used Sea Breeze, and then he rode and couldn't strike because he had no strike for it. So I was like, well, that's just as bad luck as I had in my last game, so I'll take it. So, make the win.
Round 4 was another domination for me. This time I managed to actually do my ride properly, get the grade 2, so I actually had the ability to play the game. We played a lot of back and forth, got dominated, or dominated my speaker. And I was like, oh thank god you can't boost, otherwise that gets annoying very quickly. Yeah, so he did his first stride, I then managed to do G-guard, and then G-guarded into Lapria with my first stride, and managed to just do a lot of niggle, reset a terrible handful of grade 3s and triggers, and turn it into an actual proper hand later on, and then just power through. So it was quite a nice little one. Really loving the fact that I strode for free most of that game. And that's it. I ended up winning, so that puts me at 2-2, and that nice little healthy-skelty balance of can I win, can I lose? Let's see what happens.
I was getting my second blasters, and the only interesting thing about this one was I didn't attack. I attacked his rear guard with like a 2-triggered column. Just did 9 counter blast because it wasn't a crit and he was at like 3, so we were just taking it, which meant he had to do second glance a lot. But other than that, I just beat him down because again I stalled out, strode first, could plus, he couldn't, and again no rush. So that's 2 blasters down. I was quite happy. Again, I was quite happy. I was like, I beat blasters. It's the meta deck.
My game 4 was the first of many blaster mirror matches. So this one was basically, to sum it up, gets to my grade 3 ride. I have 5 grade 3s in hand and 1 trigger. So you can probably see how it goes from here. Basically, I couldn't guard shit. He managed to get to his Alfred, and with what little I had, I go. Well, with what little I had, I go to the pass in a hope to maybe guard the rear guard and maybe have to let one through for a heal, but he commits with a crit and then gets a heal, and so it goes through. So yeah, he won on that, but I'm putting it down to that 5 bravery, so I can do shit early game.
Okay. There was 2 rounds left at this point. I was in a position where I was X1, so I just needed to win one of my last 2 games. So I was against Nubatama. No, that was against Shadows, sorry. That was the last game. Against Shadows. And literally it was the typical Shadow thing of draw, 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 draw. I've got my only Vanguard I want to ride, draw, 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 draw. And it's impossible to get past that hand. It just kept going up and up and up, and he had to drop a million 5s and he still had a hand left. It was so irritating. But it was just that, even after my GBA and everything, he still had a hand. It doesn't, their draw power is just dumb. That crit needs to be taken out. It's incredibly frustrating to keep a crit that's recyclable and draw your cards too much. But anyway, so I lost that one because it was just, I was out of cards really, and out of triggers and out of any hope of winning strides really. Well.
My 5th match was against the Blaster deck again, so that was quite nice. And this time it was Blaster that used blue and flugels and some other bits. So basically I go 1, go 1, and if I go 2, it goes 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Brings me to 3 damage. I have very few cards left in hand. So it's just like, you know what, I'm going to take a ride, going to take a strike. See what happens. So I ride to 3, swing into the rear guard, or swing to Vanguard. Not really much to do. He then goes ride to strike 3. Darcy. I'm like, okay then, cool. So that's 3 damage. It's fine. Look at hand. It's like, okay, I can stop the rear guards. You can get a bit of power. No perfect guard. Cool. Proceed. First check. Crit. Second check. Flump. Third check. Flump. Oh, thank God for that. Oh yeah. 4th check. Crit.
GG.
GG no re. It's the no re. So it's just a beautiful day of why it's fucking bullshit.
I just realised I skipped the round.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are 3 rounds left, weren't there?
We're around what, 5 more?
Yeah, there were 3 rounds left. Sorry, there were 3 rounds left. I'll go back to the game I explained was the game after the one I'll explain when it comes back to me.
Okay, so fine. Yeah, so I can't be bothered to rant. I hate the fact that it's niggle, 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 niggle 4 drive checks.
Anyway, yeah.
I went against Kagero, and this was my worst game I think I've ever played in the history of my life.
Oh god.
But basically, I perfect guarded History Stander on the first day. And when he had his 3, and I was at 3, I should have no guarded and perfect guarded History Stander. But I didn't, and I died. But at the same time,
it was only because he got a crit on the first drive check and then got a crit on his last single check and then restart.
But
yeah, it was a misplay.
It was a misplay on my part, but he kept up with me anyway. But it was just Kagero. That was it. I couldn't draw enough. No, good.
Oh, hang on.
We're on
5?
I don't know. Blaster.
Okay, we're on. We're on 4.
5.
No, we're on 5.
5, yeah. 5. Yeah, 5.
You skip one.
5.
Okay, fine. So, another Blaster Mirror. What do you know? So I went first and I got stuck on 0. So that was fun. No, I didn't. That's the next game. The wrong one.
Get stuck on it.
No, this was a Blaster Mirror. He got stuck on 1 for a turn. So I punished him and rushed early. But he managed to keep healing, so he managed to catch back up, and I didn't trigger. And again, game 1 went for freaking ages, so I go GBA. I call out all my cards, leave 4 cards in there, they're all crits. Crits, but the crits attack crits.
Yeah.
I had 1 card left in deck again, and I won on GBA. Same as game 2. Okay, Mike.
Speaking of, yeah, the one that I was meant to say was I was against blasters, I rushed them, and I attacked my grade 3 against their grade 2 and double crit. That was it. I didn't feel bad because they're playing blasters. And then it was going to be that game that I explained, because I was X1, and I needed to win 2 games, one of the 2 games to get to the next day. And I lost that new Batama game. No, yeah.
Is it actually recording?
No? What? No, I lost the Shadows game. Shadows game, sorry. Anyway, that was it.
I went for a walk.
Okay, yeah, game 6.
Oh, you dropped
Yeah, I
out.
dropped out. I went for a walk. That was it.
I went against Genesis
Actually, no.
Revelation.
I went SP hunting. Sorry, not for a walk.
Genesis Revelation, and from what I know of the deck, I was like, I gotta guard early because they do restand shenanigans with big powers. And lo and behold, his first stride was restand shenanigans with big powers. Was it what's the woman?
Ishtar.
It is Ishtar. Of I flip anything, restand. I flip anything, restand. But of course he went, I flip. So he withstood, gave power, didn't do it the 3rd time. I was like, oh, that's generous. He was a really nice guy actually. Then next, Avon Phoenix. Then I drew a lot of cards because that's what I had to do. He went flip anything, restand, flip anything, restand. I survived with like 1 card in hand. Stride into next stage. Sacked my balls off with 4 out of 5, and he couldn't catch it. So I won that one, which meant I still had hope.
Cool.
I do blaster game go.
Last blaster game. I went first and I got stuck on Wingle Brave for a turn. I couldn't find a grade 1, even with a G assist. But turns out it doesn't matter too much because it just means that he goes first and gets to attack the turn over. But since he just goes Vanguard, there's no difference. And I drew, G assisted, found it. So still nicked a card, which is annoying, but it wasn't too bad. It wasn't negative as normal. Towards the end of the game, he did his Alfred turn. That was shocking, so I had to no-guard his Alfred swing. When I was at 4, so I put the game. Didn't get a crit, I went to 5. Guarded the rest, and then again, I got GPA. I caught everything but the last 4 crits on my deck. And I had to drive check 3 crits and have 1 card left in the deck.
Is that the 3rd time?
That's the 3rd time I've done that exact same play.
I don't get how I get GBA so quick. And then I can't use my GBA,
No, it's not
so
quick,
it makes
that was a long game. Bear in mind my deck got down to that thin.
Yeah, but my deck gets down that thing after like 2 straights.
Fair
Just
enough.
burned it.
Okay, so at this point, me and Yuri or X and 2, Baz is just walking.
SP hunting.
Yeah, just
It's
spending money.
hunting.
It's fine.
So it was just the idea that hopefully we all get through or we all don't, because it's annoying to wait around for one person the entire second day.
Yeah, it's awful. You've got to wait around for an entire day or maybe 2 days
For more than one person's fine. But anyway, so I was against Nubatama. I completely shut him down with a similar thing of doing like in Nubatama. I was retiring all his rear guards with cannoneers, keeping my hand up, and not giving him the counterblast to do anything or the field to do anything, because obviously they're hollow, they go. So it was pretty rubbish draws and drive checks on my part. But basically it got to the point where he done a basic stride. It went into the first stride, which was the free dominate attack thing. Obviously throughout this game, of course, I don't get any triggers and damage, so the niggles are a little annoying, the ones that you can get. But I was in a situation where I either do 2 to pass on the Vanguard and have 10 spare for the rear guard if he gets a stand trigger, because I know he runs them, or I
saw this game.
Or I do no pass on the Vanguard and just obviously go to my next turn and win, because he has literally nothing in hand at this point. He was just hoping this would win it for him. And I went 2 to pass on the Vanguard, and he goes he'll trigger, draw trigger game. And I was like, well, that's the game, isn't it? So I took damage, and that was it. It's just unfortunate that he got the double trigger on that check. Outside of 1. And he had to run stands. Stands and crits are so annoying. You don't know which one they're going to get. He ran rainbow.
Rainbow. Really.
What round was that?
Last round. So I was out at this point.
I got some water because I was quite thirsty.
Good. I went against Blasters.
Like we waited for fast though. What do you got to say about the round?
I got what?
I went for Blasters on the final time of the day. Long game, was long. But it basically, he went, in my eyes, he did an Aaron. He went to 4, healed to 3. Triggered like a little bitch. But was quite happy with himself because he had all his loos out and all his Flogels, all his Blaster Blades out, all his Flogels out. So he was like, oh 19, sweet, oh 19. I was like, uh-huh. And then did his loop, put Blaster Blade back, so he was set Blaster Blade back. So he was setting up for next turn. And he again, I couldn't do anything against. He went GB8, gave power, and I couldn't do anything against like his 8 attacks. Again. So I lost.
So there was just Aaron left.
And he got Lou early game because he had the perfect setup early game. I was like, well, this is a rare scenario.
Put it this way: if I was watching your game, then you know that I finished before you in this last round.
Yeah, I know.
That could mean 2 things. Mike came past me and I was barely on grade 3. I was like, what the hell happened?
I was watching your game as well because you were right next to each other.
I was always watching you.
I was very disappointed in his final turn, by the way.
Yeah, so was I. In my head, he could have done it much better, and I was like, go lose to anything.
There were like three times where I was just up before anyone else because it was over because of grade lock, and me attacking and getting double crit on grade 3. I'll get to my summary in a day.
So I went against Chris.
Oh.
Oh, you mean
get to play friends.
you mean the guy who beat Faz in like round 2 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll
we
make
could've-
Chris
We could have had the same.
using Nubbly Tamas.
Yeah.
Niggly Tamas. It's a new thing. It's meta now. It's the meta now.
Lupatama did what Lupatama did.
Niggly Tama.
Wipe my shit. Wiggle my Vanguard. I get no triggers and damage.
We don't. You don't.
I can't guard. He wins.
That was
There's
quick.
not
That
much
was
else to say.
quick.
The shortest summary of the thing.
Like, I don't really know what to say. I had my resist stuff out, which annoyed him a bit, but he still called a new unit and went niggle with that. Niggle with that.
Okay.
No trigger.
Well, then just go. I guess at this point, go and say the summary of how we think the games and decks are.
I just want to
Briefly, very briefly,
cut before
and
I
then,
complain.
and then we'll talk about the day, as in the venue and how it's run and everything like that. If you're complaining about how the decks and things are, we can just do it on your brief summary. So my summary of the day is, if you think about what's up there, I believe that it's things like Kagero and Blasters and Nubatama. You've heard quite a lot of them. There are, of course, other things that are topping, but they seem to be...
What's top 8, Mikey? We know what top 8 is.
Okay.
Or what top 8. No, just say what top 8 was. Because you say you know what you believe they're up there, we know what
Pretty
top
sure it was
Okay, hang on.
gear.
8. Yeah,
Okay,
Dark irregular.
dark regular.
Something, and then a
No.
single blaster.
It was there's 4 gears, 3 Dark Irregulars, and 1 Royal Paladin in the top 8.
Assume it was blasters.
But yeah,
If it
so
wasn't, that's impressive.
There was a brave deck floating about.
It wasn't high.
I think it would be relatively safe to say that those 3 decks I mentioned are quite well known and run in that day.
They were in
The-
day
the-
2.
In the Nubatama, Royals, and Kagero seem to be up there in terms of the quantity of players.
Yeah.
But if you think about what they need to win, they need triggers. They are a 4 drive check and then 5 drive check for Royals, or a 3 drive check and 1 drive check for each stand up Kagero, and they need the crit to go off in the first 3 checks, so they restand with a crit. So it's just,
We're not in your case.
and yeah, they plus a little bit, but it's just their advantage comes from their quality of triggers in those drive checks. So I feel as like it's a trigger format, and that's what I believe it to be. And Nubatama, of course, you need a trigger in damage to stop the niggles.
That is true for
things like that.
blasters because you need to put power on the blaster blade to restand up the Flogels. Now we're on that topic, I completely forgot that in 2 of my games I go draw trigger into soul 3k to blaster blade, crit into
Yeah.
soul 3k to blaster blade, crit into soul 3k to blaster blade because I couldn't guarantee triggers and it was the final turn. So I went 21 restand, 21 drive check, whatever. So that's a way to get around it.
And other than that, in terms of I expect the players as well you experienced, Aaron. But yeah, the players I experienced, I tried to interact in a cheery manner throughout all my games. And even though I lost some things, it was still having a laugh with them, and they were having a laugh. And, yeah, it was just a good bit of fun. So the players I came across were fine. I didn't need any judge rulings or anything like that done. Didn't see any of that really go on, apart from one with Kagero and Grand Blue on another person's table, where Cannoneer remains on the field, so they can't add that grade 3 back to their hand. So they've got empty field, and then Cannoneer goes. That was the only ruling I came across in regards to my clan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Same
So it's like you still got something on your field, and then Cannoneer will go. So yeah, that was pretty much that. But I thought the deck was strong enough. I just didn't have good luck on the day.
Emphasise that last point for myself. My deck is absolutely fine, just bad luck on the day. I want to again apologise for Draven/Chris, because that just ended me for the day. The sheer fact that it was happening there. I later on actually had a decent game against him, so I evened it out. But once again, I know you've watched these videos, man. Sorry for being a complete dick and being pissed off about bullshit. But yeah. Apart from that, yeah, it's good to see people. I am a social butterfly when I go to these events and constantly communicate with people.
I have to walk with him, and he pinballs around, and I have to stop him from pinballing.
Ooh, new friend! Ooh, friend!
Ooh, you again! I just spoke to you like 10 minutes ago. Let's talk again.
Chat. So yeah, I love going to the events to see the people. I love going to the events to try and do well. Unfortunately, didn't do as well as I did last time this time, but yeah, decks that are out there and decks that are coming up there. I hate the fact that I've got another reason to hate bullshit paladins. Gears, I didn't actually see a single one, so I can't get irate about them. Really sorry, Fury. Maybe we can play later.
No.
We'll talk about the top 8 and why they're there.
But yeah, apart from that, it's just nice to see the same faces and some new faces, and yeah, still some people.
Still dark faces.
Not this year.
No, one dark face to get day 2.
Boom!
5-1.
Yeah.
Sorry, 6-1. No,
I was
5.
going to say, it's weird because there were a few people from my Yu-Gi-Oh era that was just like cropping up, just like, I know you. You don't know me as Faz though. You know me as something else. Continue. So yeah, but that was me. Now, Yuri, Darkface was where?
Dark face made day 2.
What's up? If you've got anything else to just add, just leave it.
Day was.
Day
was as it always was.
Of your opponents, the decks you went against, any kind of summary you think the meta is?
Oh,
we'll go over why what we believe it's okay.
Meta is just what it always is. You play stuff in to get the best advantage. What it always is. You say it's trick format, but if you can spin your deck play in any way, shape, or form,
yeah,
you
but
get the advantage.
Paladin decks and they can do that, it's irritating.
Bosses don't actually fin the deck until late game.
Every time you stride, you search something.
Yeah.
Your crits go back to the deck.
But that's one of the only bullshit things I've found about bosses, apart from the crit, which is obviously dumb as fuck.
And maybe before drive check for no reason.
What?
It's multiple drive checks, multiple chance of triggering. You're thinning the deck by 1 and you're adding crits back to the deck.
Bosses don't really fin deck until late game. Like, Flesh Strike.
That is for them. Quick.
Anyway, it's a summary of what you think about your... And you only go to a lot of blasters and things, so sure.
Everyone went against blasters. I think blasters started knocking themselves out in the top 8 or something.
That's probably why there's.
It's probably why they're not there, yeah, to be honest.
Oh, look, you're on top table, no, you're not.
What should we talk about the top 8?
No, go for the top 8, it's fine.
Okay, well, the top 8 is 4 gears, 3 Dark Records and 1 Royal Paladin. The Royal Paladin, as we know, is up there. I think it's just they're being lucky, because if they get nothing, they're not actually doing a lot if you think about it. In trigger wise, it's just like, oh look, you get an 11k rear guard that there's a little extra niggle for sending a crit back, and other than that, you're just getting +1. So it's not doing a lot. It's like -1 +1 as your second stride, because if you get triggers, then it's bollocks. But anyway, but I am impartial to opinions on 4 gears and 3 Dark Records, as I'm not sure how exactly they
apparently. During the top tables was apparently quite a good even split of Blade Wing and Darkness, which basically is all because Blade Wings can go 1 turn OTK but put all triggers back in the deck the turn before and set itself up for it. Same with Darkness. It's all about I put all triggers back in the deck, I get a restander with all triggers, suck it. Effectively, and that's how they will win games.
And the gears, I assume they're all...
The gears is Zodiac Time Beast. There are some They're like the variation.
I think there's one. There's one that was timely.
No, the timely got destroyed early game.
Okay, well it's
also timely, but
well, in that regard, do you not think Dark Raves and Gears top because one, if they go Shadow Paladins, they can also store to take stuff back, and two, they just
they outrush.
And they well, okay. But you can if you wanted to send
Dark Raves, Blade Wings can outstore Shadows, but Shadows were so poorly represented at the tournament, from what I saw, that they were just eventually getting knocked out gradually. Also, come day 2, Shadows play like an 80-minute game. If you lose that, you're going into you've got like 3 minutes remaining on the round, going into game 2.
Which actually happens. It went to a draw.
Which we saw 2 draws happen because but I think both involve Shadows. If you play Shadows, Pony said it himself, he plays the long game. Well, you can't when you've got best of 3 because you can't get a game 3 out of that. You need to basically sack and then you need to win and win. You can't go long game lose, or long game win and then you just tie. So that's why Shadows will gradually have been filtering out because all the other decks are quicker. So they either beat you quick or they try and keep up with you pace-wise. Gears is up there because it's multiple attacks and it's multiple attacks with big numbers. And if you get very lucky in your top 5 and it's like no triggers, then you know there's going to be triggers.
Yeah.
I'm curious if any of them are Demiurge. Because that's a fun deck. But I saw too many players misplay with Demiurge and it pisses me off. Because it's a simple deck.
Yeah, I did come across player-wise, the way they played, it wasn't, they got an occasional misplay or something.
I saw someone do a giant misplay on table 1 and he didn't get punished for it and it pissed me the F off. He so blasted on Gear Groovy to flip his next stage. The previous turn he already gone into next stage. And when you went the Gear Groovy package, you only went 3 next stage. So he went swing, counter blast, ditch 3, oh wait, I can't. So I don't have any. But his opponent went, don't worry about it, just I'll take the rear guard and take a die. So basically he went, Vanguard, he went ring, swing, 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 and his opponent couldn't guard it. I was like, oh, you should be punished for that! That's a massive misplay. I don't care if you're on top tables and you're just nervous. But yeah, should be punished for misplays, and people don't. Because I get punished for misplays.
Yeah. Perfectly. It's up to you. I think the only BME thing I saw was a celebratory thing in front of Aaron. I think that was a bit much.
That guy acted like he won the tournament.
Yeah, he just threw his arms up like, yeah! And it was like,
I get Blasters is a annoying matchup and it's yay you beat Blasters, but just go to your friends and say, I crush Blasters. Don't go to their face and be like, you suck!
in a throwing arm motion, yeah. Other than that, the venue was a big old sports hall, so it was very spacious and ventilated and had good access to nice toilets and drinks and
Woohoo! Gear stopped!
Did they?
Yeah.
What the one thing you did?
Can you turn that off?
It's Zach! He stopped messaging me!
Put it on silent, you muppet!
The little flippy stick on the side.
Royal Paladin Gear Chronicle, DI Gear Chronicle, top 4 was Gear Chronicle, DI, top 2 was Gear Chronicle.
So it's either going to be Gear Chronicle or Gear Chronicle.
And winner was Gear Chronicle.
Okay, good.
So Zodiac Time Beast is best, which everyone knew.
And it gets even better in the
It
next
was
set.
like, yeah, it literally just gets buffed in the next set.
Hooray!
So, other than that, it wasn't like a piece of paper we can't get to. It was in the middle of the room, but they could have done more copies of it, I guess. Let's put it in places, not just on the other side of it.
Yeah, they still need to work out how they do their round pairings, like where they're going to display them.
So I can just imagine it being an intelligent way, just getting a giant meat off effing projector.
Yeah.
And just going boom, back wall, look.
Yeah, or get like 2 and just ask them to borrow some. It can't be. I don't think it can be that. It should be that hard, but it seems to be. We have to print off copious amounts of papers.
Kill trees.
Trees just die left, right, and centre, and we'll pin it up. I'm also stupidly annoyed at the organisation on the one aspect of everyone has to do a deck list.
Yeah.
Which and there's apparently some BS regions, and I never saw anyone get that checked, so those reasons go out the window. Do it for day 2, by all means. Say overnight, can you do a deck list? We'll give you a piece of paper, you can find a pen, just in a hotel, you can ask to borrow one. But don't do it for day 1, it's a waste of everyone's time.
Not even then. Like,
Well, the thing is, day 2 there's less people, and you have overnight, so you know you're going into it. People who come in, everyone turns up, great. It's supposed to start at 10.
Travelling up in the
First
morning
game
as
is
well.
12:30.
Imagine doing travel in the morning and then having to write decks. It's exhausting.
I just don't like deck lists as well because the amount of times that I'll write their deck list out, go out, speak to people, trade, and it's just like, I want to put my new shape.
I get that, but again, unless they know what you're going against, they aren't going to call you on changing your deck, or if you make weird changes. The way the judging is done, you can't catch everything unless you know. If I sat down against Faz and he wasn't playing Bermuda, I would probably question that because I know Faz. Otherwise, I'll go, "Hello, stranger. What deck is that? Link Joker. Oh, okay."
That looks like a Link Joker kind of thing.
And just be like,
he was from Bermuda game day 2.
and just go, "Oh look, it looks like Link Joker. It must be Link Joker. I assume it's Link Joker, so I'm playing Link Joker." Like. You don't question. I wouldn't go. If Mike goes, "Oh, this card was useless to me. I'll change it out." I won't go. He won't sit down against the same opponent for the rest of the day.
I just put it
The
in the back of
theory
the
is,
game.
it's basically like you have. We've discussed the whole bad matchup. Some clans have really bad matchups against other. It's the theory of I'm going to use my Uber clan. Oh yes, I made it to day 2. Day 2, there seems to be quite a lot of my bad matchup. I'm going to change my deck completely.
Yeah. So that is a reason for it.
Yeah, that's a reason for it, but it's incredibly awkward for everyone to have to write down the deck list. The thing is, if you say I am using...
you still say what clan you're using.
No, you're not. Yeah, you
because
are.
he said, because he wrote your name and put your clan.
Yeah.
Wrote your name, put your clan.
Yeah.
So you can still say name and clan. Blah 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 blah. Because he still types out your name. He doesn't scan anything. Types your name, puts a tick next to you on your clan. Move forward. Name, clan. Name, clan. But you're still going in. You're still wasting everyone's time, and they have to write it up. And I'm sorry, it's disadvantageous if you run duos or whatever. But if you've got some shiny cards and some non-shiny cards, it really makes you go, I don't want to play this deck. One of the reasons I didn't go with Demiurge is because the deck list is a ball ache to write out. Because it's 2, 2, 2, one of this, one of this, one of this. So I was like, it's not worth the effort. But
that literally the reason why you didn't go Demiurge.
pretty much, wow.
There's a lot of effort.
It's a lot.
Yeah,
of
I
effort.
know, but it's the fact that because of some ball-ass
You imagine if-
tournament,
imagine if you're
tournament
Bermuda-
ruling decision, you've now decided not to go with a deck.
Well, it was also it was working too well for me, and I knew it was just going to flop when I got there.
You imagine if you run a Bermuda deck, you know, the one that you have to top deck one different one.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, a little bit.
that gimmicky
Yeah.
thing. You imagine writing that? No.
Faz
And then
every
not getting
year,
into day 2.
when he
so
writes out
it
his
doesn't matter
list, goes like onto the back page
Yeah,
and
onto
seemingly
the back.
might need another one.
Onto the back page every year, and it's just literally the G zone alone is like, oh, I've picked up an SP of that, I've picked up this version of the SP of that, oh, I've got the original.
I don't
There's
think
a W.
SPs and things should matter. Like, he's right. If you got the one version of it, just write down
The
that.
card exists, this is the name of the card, done.
But it's a whole.
The only thing where I would state that you have to put down, and I can see why they wanted to put down...
You could have columns
card.
like SPs, that or that, or that
No,
card.
because basically the whole... We discussed it on the way up playing the game, or the way down playing the game. The only card that actually it matters for 110% where you have to say it is EN09/21 whatever is Overlord. That is the only card because there are two freaking...
No, it's because it is also reprints. Like someone we know was playing a Stride Assist from set 12.
Yeah.
Because it's a reprint, it's a valid card, blah blah blah. But he has to put down specifically different. People can question it, blah blah blah. I get why you do it. But my big concern is, you know you're going into day 2. So you know there's a chance you're getting up there. Great. You've wasted everyone's time. We started 2 and a bit hours later than we should have. Because everyone had to write out a deck list. So you turn up, pre-reg, doesn't make a difference. You write your deck list.
They didn't do the limitation of the
Anchor.
deck and mat only this time either, so they didn't even matter anyway. So if they did that, it would matter even less, because obviously you've only got your deck on you, so you can't change anything anyway.
Maybe you could go out.
Yeah, but apart from that, judges were great. Most of them were my friends.
But they still didn't catch a few things.
As we discussed
Yeah,
later on in the
as we
evening.
discussed later in the evening, we found a few
the thing is-
few cheatsy doodles that didn't get caught, but it's impossible. It's players' knowledge.
Both players have to say if something, like, you have to be aware if there's cheating going on, or if you say something, they say yes and you go with it. Like, you don't really. If you're sort of focusing on your game and they say, oh, you need to do something, you will just do it. Or if you ask and they're not sure, say a yes. Like, you aren't. People take advantage, but judges can't catch everything. What they need to do is pay more attention to top tables, because that's where it actually matters. I don't care if you've lost. If you're 0-2, you know full well if you're 0-2, you could win out all you want. You're still not making top 8. Screw you. You cheat all you want. I don't care. If you're on top tables, that's where it matters. That's where it's going to determine if you're kicking someone into top 8 or not. So pay attention there more. Don't. I understand you to wander around.
So whose responsibility is it to understand the card effects?
Both players.
Both players.
Both players.
Okay, then. So if I'm aware of a card effect,
Yeah.
as the player who is playing the card, my opponent is not,
Yeah.
but thinks of something else and acts upon that. So it's just like, oh, you've wrote this, retire.
Yeah.
They don't
Okay.
refer to.
Yeah.
Is it my responsibility to then say, whoa, 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 or do I just go, continue?
It's your responsibility to say whoa, whoa, whoa. But if you don't, and then the game carries on, and the judge comes over and says, "Oh, wait, he said to retire," and you didn't say retire. The thing is, they will pin it on you and say, "You said to retire." I think.
I did not.
I know exactly. But this means
he said, she said, continue.
And that's what it comes down to is, well, it's too far gone now, and this is the problem. If it's too far gone, tough.
But that's going to be the same way. There's no way to change that unless you video every single.
No, but what is my point is, if you're a judge and you're walking around top tables, you need to pay attention more to plays going on. It's not I'm standing around top tables having a chat to a friend. Do that around the lower end tables. Again, I don't care if you do it lower end tables. Top end tables, you have to pay attention, and that's all I want from judges. If you leave the top end tables and you go to like the mid range tables, it's 50-50 top or not. But top end, pay attention. You're supposed to be keeping an eye on games anyway, because most of the judges bitch and complain and say you can't interfere. I have to look at it, and like only if I see it does it make a difference. So basically, it comes down to he said, she said, and your judge either turned up. I have no idea. Who do I prefer? And yes, people say no, I'm completely impartial. That's a lie. No one is completely impartial. They know that person. They're going to be biased in one way or another. That's where we have one friend. I'm pretty sure all judges are impartial against him. They will probably try and go out of their way to go against him, if they do.
Yes.
If it's a 50-50 flip, they'll make it a 51-49 against him. But they say they're not biased. That's my annoyance with the judges. Pay attention top tables. Fuck everywhere else. And yes, it is up to both opponents.
Alright, if you could just calm down and let someone else get in a word in edgeways, that'd be great, mate. Still nothing! Still nothing!
It's just like, back to back.
I am Switzerland!
I have been called that since my secondary school days. No joke.
Love you, man.
I've literally been called that.
What is your opinion on the judge situation? Proceed.
I agree with Yuri.
Thank you.
That's like partial. You betrayer.
It's spot on.
Please tell me if I'm wrong in this scenario.
No, you're not. Like, both people should know the card effects, or if you're unsure, you ask your opponent
Or
what
it's
card
Vanguard
effect is.
And if you're unsure on a resolve, ask a judge. I had a Kagro player ask when he denial griffin me, does my booster still go into solve draw me a card? And I was like, yes, it's the same effects as all the other ones, which are they've initiated the on boost stuff. But I was like, if you want, we call a judge over and just clarify it. So he got a judge over. They said they clarified it, and he was like, that's fine. He just wanted clarity. If you want clarity, ask the judge. That's what they're there for. Don't just hope that your opponent's saying the right thing. If you say, I do this, I get to draw 2 cards. Well,
It doesn't help that decks
okay.
are overly combo orientated and fast. They're going into Shadow deck, they're like, oh, even that doesn't sound complicated, but if you're using like the stand to do the rest or whatever, to call these two, to then send these back, to then do this, to then it's like, okay, to then counterblast, to use ritual, to it's like, stop doing stuff.
But again, this is up to you to
Yeah.
tell them to slow down. If they just go like, blah, 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 you go, hang on a minute. If you see them going to be quick, you go, hang on, can you just tell me what you're doing, like step by step?
I did, I checked like the stand trigger and the occasional
it
effect
comes
of-
down
of
to
I
both-
I'm unaware of. But yeah, it's annoying loopy kind of deck that's
But-
just...
It always comes down to both parties. If you say, oh, he cheated me, did you say anything against it at the time? Did you question it at the time? No. Then you kind of brought it upon yourself. If you don't help yourself, then you can't complain afterwards.
Anything else? Anything else? I don't think the venue was fine, as said.
People great as always. Random raffle winners. Stay to the end, Yuri. Never leave. You always win a
You
raffle.
always wins it.
Oh, we win a raffle.
I'm not even sure if I won legitimately or not. It looked like a 7, but apparently it was a 1.
Oh, hold yeah.
So you got a folder, you got a pack of sleeves.
Yep.
Shout out to, we got a photo from a fan earlier, that was cool.
Oh, we eating our breakfast.
I said afterwards, I was like, I was going to ask for something from our table, or just inquire as to Aaron's clothing or something, or he's a fan. It's like, it's either one extreme or the other, it's nothing in the middle.
Why my clothing?
I don't know, because you look the most distinguished with your weird little setup.
Didn't someone shout out that they knew you when you collected your prize, Yuri?
Hey, you!
Shut up!
Well, they sounded very much like you. It could be on like mini you.
There are lots of mini fezzes around.
Oh my god! It's Yuri from Team
Best promotion ever.
That's it.
That was therefore.
Promise after the tournament, if I've not done day 2, I'm just like, I've done.
He's the promotional butterfly.
I wanted to go get food and then drag back and then got bind the thing.
Yeah, was it worth it? Was it worth waiting for the chicken?
I did actually have all the prizes. That was the one I wanted.
Well, then there you go.
I was like, don't be more sleeves. I don't care. Ooh.
Ooh, it's a banger.
That's your treat binder now, Yuri.
Yeah, it's gonna have stuff in it.
It will, because you pull so much of what you don't want. Yeah. Now wrap it up. Are we good? Are we good?
Yep. Yuri's had his round.
Fast as that is red.
Yeah. I'm black hating paladins, bitches.
Switch to golds in set 13 to see what they get.
Oh, bullshit, no.
That's the pinnacle of fast there.
Oh, and there's also shadows in set 12 this set, which is next week. So you've got that to look forward to as well.
Yeah, but I literally just
That
started to get
doesn't
my
do
interest back in the
anything.
game. Don't fuck me.
No one cares about that. It's all battle systems and stuff.
Yeah, that's it.
Fucking oracles! They're getting good again!
Oh, we always think that things will get good, but they're not going to be as good as something else.
No, they're proven in Japan they're good.
Ah.
That is LSM beating.
Oh,
No one cares about shadows.
so as usual, thank you guys for watching. Feel free to like, comment and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later.
That's different.
Let's catch up with you later. What did I always say?
See
See you
guys
later. Oh my god, I am not with it.